Hello my friends, I hope I'm live now because I'm not using StreamYard today. I'm using actually OBS because I found StreamYard has a terrible quality and today I think we need a very good quality. So let me know if everything is okay with my beautiful face and sound, of course. And then we still have some time left actually before the stream starts. 15 minutes roughly. So again, let me know in the comment section if you can hear me, if you can see me. And yeah, then let's just talk about whatever we're going to see. I don't know. I'm hoping for the PlayStation 5 Pro. But for the PlayStation 5 Pro. But for the PlayStation 5 Pro. Oh, this is bad. So why is this? See, something is going wrong here. Just give me a second. Maybe this one. Oh, that's better, I think. No. It's still. Oh, that's better, I think. No. Ah, oh, that's what. Sorry for that. I had a second window open. I think that's better. You're late. You're early. What? What do you mean? You're late? Why I'm late? I'm exactly on time. Okay. So again, can you hear me clear and loud? I hope so. This is really bad. So I'm using OBS today because, again, I like to have the best quality. But with OBS, I have literally no idea when you press start streaming, I have no idea when it actually starts. It's not immediately when you press the button. Okay? So anyway, okay. Hello and welcome. So what are we going to expect? PlayStation 5 Pro? GTA 6 in 60 FPS? Maybe on the PC, probably. Not sure. Hey, Silver, how are you? Oh, this is actually exciting, to be honest. You know? And I hope everything is going smoothly then with the stream here, what I have prepared. Because I'm doing this actually for the first time to try to get actually a live stream into my live stream. But it should be fine, actually. If not, we can always jump to the original live stream. No worries. So, how are you doing? Everything is fine? Yeah. Have you watched my latest video? My last video about washed out picture in Astrobot? I hope so. Hello, Patrick. How are you? What screen you got back there? OLED? Yeah, that's the LG G2. It's my LG G2. I haven't updated to the G3, but G3 was not a big update, and I'm not sure if I'm going to upgrade to the G4. I'm not quite sure. Yes, I have seen this, and I will look into this. I think what they changed is maybe the 200 nits difference. You know, when you set the internal setting to 1000 nits, it was just outputting 800. Maybe that's what they actually fixed, but I'm not sure. Maybe in a couple of minutes. Yes, maybe. Maybe it's official in a couple of minutes. Hello, everybody. So if I'm missing someone in the comment section, then I apologize because a lot is going on. Okay, and again, I apologize for everything what comes up in terms of audio-visual stuff, because OBS is fine and nice, but it's powerful, but you have to consider a lot, to be honest. But I think so far everything is fine. I think so. What I like to check in the meantime, because we still have a little bit time. It starts in probably 12 minutes, roughly. I think so, yeah. Okay, give me a second. I'm just checking something on my end. And the question is there actually a pre-order going on today? Do we think this? See, I don't understand OBS. Now my YouTube studio says this resolution is not supported. Oh my God, really? I should have just used StreamYard. But again, the StreamYard quality is so bad, really. Even you use 1080p, it looks like 720p. And this right now is, I hope I'm streaming in 1440p. This should be more than enough quality. Okay. Hallo Nachtregen. Liebe Grüße aus Berlin. Dankeschön. Yeah, I hope actually that they upgrade the CPU as well, because yeah, for games like GTA 6 and stuff like that, where we need a little bit more CPU power. Yeah, okay, if this is really the same, let's have a look. I mean, we don't know. Stream quality looks amazing. Had to check if it was actually HDR. No, but next time I think I try this, because it's actually not much to change actually to have HDR. Hey, everything PlayStation 5 Pro. My email is in my YouTube account, and it depends what time. So I can do Sunday early morning my time, which is for Ariel then in the evening, which fits him as well. But just write me an email. GTA 6 1080p 60 FPS. I mean, come on. If would be fine if the visual quality is good, you know. 1080p doesn't mean it's bad, you know what I mean? 1080p, you can have a 4K resolution, absolutely blurry, washed out, and it doesn't look good, or a perfect 1080p picture. No, this was for me 1 a.m. or something like that in the evening. I think in the night. This doesn't work for me. Because if we're then talking, no, I don't think so. But let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, 1080p can have a good visual quality, of course. So the visual quality is not in terms of graphical quality, okay? So visual quality for me is a sharp picture, and 1080p can be sharp as well. No, I have seen a lot of PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 games with a much sharper optic than AAA PlayStation 5 games, to be very honest. Absolutely. When will you do Space Marine 2 HDR settings? When they put HDR in. There's no HDR support in Space Marine 2, unfortunately. Unfortunately, no. So we have actually, I'll just do this here. Can you see this hopefully? Yes, you can. We're getting there. 7 minutes left. Let's do my face a little bit more. When do you think they will release it? I have no idea. Probably this year or maybe for the Christmas, you know? Right quick, what is this, that amazing TV behind you? That's LG G2. It's a little bit older already. And again, not sure if I'm going to update or upgrade to the G4 by end of the year, because I was actually going to buy the G4, but then again they have ridiculous prices here in Australia, over 5,000, I think $5,300, you know, for 5.3K, you know, for a 65-inch TV, which is it's just too much. You know, I bought the CX, I bought the G2, I have the S95C. There's no way I can explain my wife why I need the G4. But maybe by end of the year, when there's a sale or whatever, maybe depends what the G5 will bring. I don't know. Can't wait to play Red Dead Redemption with PlayStation 5 Pro in 30 FPS. Yeah, They can already do an update to 60 FPS. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure about that. But I think they will sell this in a remastered remake cash grab edition, which is fine. I will buy it. So what else do we expect actually? So let's say they're really announcing the PlayStation 5 Pro today, which I think. So what are we expecting actually in terms of course we expecting better graphics, hopefully a better CPU, but you know what I also would like to have better VRR, verbal refresh support, because especially with here Space Marine, and I'm going to probably test this and play this, or maybe do a little bit of a comparison between PlayStation 5 and Xbox. It's just a very small one, and I'm going to talk about VRR in this video because this is where we have issues with the PlayStation 5 version. So it's not necessarily that the PlayStation 5 version runs worse than the Xbox version, which probably can be fixed. I think it's just an issue with optimization, but I think the problem is the VRR range on the PlayStation 5, because the frame rate falls very often below 47, 48 FPS, and then it's outside the VRR window. And on the Xbox Series, there's no issue with that, because first of all, you can use 120 Hertz mode all the time, which is a big issue or big downside actually on the PlayStation. And I hope maybe, I mean, they can do this already with the current PlayStation. You know, they just need to update the software. Give me a 120 Hertz mode like on the Xbox. You know, I like to change my refresh rate to 120 Hertz fixed. I don't understand why this is not working, or why they're not doing this. Because then, with a proper VRR support, you can have a wider window like on the Xbox. Okay? But yeah, but that's how it is. I can't change it. So that's what I'm expecting. Maybe Dolby Vision gaming support, but they can also do this already on the PlayStation. So there's no need to wait. Yeah, this would be great. So better stable, yeah, of course stable FPS, but also a better VRR range and LFC. Hardware LFC, like on the Xbox. I'm just reading comments, okay, at the moment. We still have 3 minutes left. The PlayStation 5 will not fix the Wukong image quality. The problem is that that's the problem. It's Unreal Engine, correct? That's the problem, because it's so demanding. You know, they need to use all this upscaler crap and TSSA and FSA, whatever. You know, that's why it looks like that at the end. You know, it's just awful, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, again, I find the graphical quality in Wukong on the PlayStation 5 is great. The details and stuff like that, fantastic, but the visual quality is crap, the image quality. Because as soon you move, you can't see anything anymore. It's just blurry mess. And this is what I so in Astrobot, for an example, the image quality is on a high level. It's fantastic, but of course the graphical quality, you know, there are not much details. You have plain textures and stuff like that, so that's a different story again. But I prefer a clean, sharp visual quality over graphical details, to be very honest. But that's just me. No, this will not happen. It will not have power like the 4090. No way. Yeah, the same with Star Wars Outlaws. Yeah, it's very, very blurry actually. Absolutely correct. Almost done. 1 minute left for, I don't know what. what they're announcing. I don't know. Any idea? Yeah, depends on what games are actually supported then from the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's the thing. So do we think we have a pre-order starting today if they announce the PlayStation? "50 seconds. Oh my goodness. Let's have a look. Let's see what's going on, really. Hey, Classy, how are you? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Oh, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro, and how it advances gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers an exceptional gaming experience. When PS5 debuted in 2020, it brought a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2 CPU cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed complex gameplay, with character counts reaching into the hundreds and frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames a second. PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from intricate details to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas to explore. Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or glass, and the realism that comes from real-time global illumination. A custom SSD can load data at breathtaking speed, resulting in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds and data streaming rates so high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
You okay? I'm working on it!
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion to the sound of the games. With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where they are. Finally, the DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game. It's wonderful to see such variety and richness of game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance. The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players. Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second, mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved. When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that, PS5 Pro substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3. First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses. The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster. Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the games. Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles, and with the big three involved, the results can be pretty amazing, with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super smooth 60 frames per second. Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier.
Don't stop! We gotta lose.
This goal of delivering almost fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rates has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5. Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second. What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5. For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene, including the trees and procedural cars. So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the big three showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon Forbidden West. Apart from the detail boost, that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements to lighting and visual effects, as well as to the hair and the skin in cinematics.
Open up, guys. Jorv's orders.
Good enough for me.
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well, particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates. The faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference. Allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay, while continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second. That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy, allowing not only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also for further realism in the casting of shadows. I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology behind PlayStation 5 Pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built, and a worthy addition to the PS5 family. Let me wrap this up by giving you a quick look at a number of games running on the new console.
You'll never break a legend. 'Cause they don't know we are legendary.
Don't let me hang it.
It'll be worth it.
Okay.
Did I do it? Oh, what is this? What's with all the neon?
So now we have a date. So, what do we think here, huh? No CPU improvement, apparently. That's how it looks like. Which, it's probably not surprisingly. But I'm also a little bit, so am I the only one who thinks that ray tracing, yes, it's a nice to have, but not a must have? You know, I would rather have 120 Hertz with the same optic or even better visual quality than ray tracing. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. So, and no one knows actually when you can pre-order this. 800 euros. I didn't check actually the price, to be honest. Was it 800 euros? Really? Bloody hell. 800 euros. That means it's over 1,000 Australian dollars, probably. 699 pounds. Was there any Australian price? What was the US price? I completely didn't look at the price, to be honest. Shit. So 800 euros. What is the normal price right now? In euro, in Germany. So 699 is 699 US. Oh, okay, this is, wow, this is crazy increasing. I don't know if, to be honest, I can't see that much of an improvement. My PSSR sounds like if it has the same quality as DLSS, I don't know. If it is, then yeah, fine. GPU improvement or 43%, over 40% faster. I don't know. And RTX, oh, sorry, not RTX, ray tracing. I'm not don't get me wrong. Ray tracing looks great in Alan Wake or in games where they're really doing it in a great way or a good way, but the performance cost is so high. Really, absolutely, I don't think it's good for consoles, to be honest. You know, at least he was talking a lot about 60 FPS, which is a good thing in my opinion, because I would rather 60 FPS is the way to go. Full stop. That's my opinion. Okay, so 30 FPS. I don't know what people smoking actually to enjoy this, but it doesn't work, to be honest. Okay, so we had this story already. We talked about this so many times. You know, on an OLED screen like this, it doesn't work. Okay, no way. Okay. So I'm not sure what I should think about this. To be very honest, I'm not quite sure. At the end, it depends on the price. I mean, to be very honest, I'm going to buy one most likely, not because I need one, because for the channel. You know what I mean? I like to see the thing. I like to make videos and stuff like that. But if it is, it's probably too expensive. You know. Yeah, probably. I mean, look, we are all nerds probably, but and the PlayStation 5 Pro will be selling like bread, warm bread. I'm pretty sure about that. You know what I mean? But I'm a little bit, it's too expensive, to be very honest. It's too expensive. So 800 euros. So again, what is the current price from PlayStation Euro in Germany right now? Wife says no. The computer says nah. Is this digital only? No. No, huh? No. That's with a drive, huh? I like to put my games in. If this is digital only, it's a no-go. I will not buy it. That's absolutely clear. I don't think so now. So what is the price? Again, what is the current PlayStation 5 price in euro? 410 euros digital slim, but what is the normal one with disk drive? 550. Wow, okay, that's $250 more. Euros more. Wow. Wow, it's really just digital only? Are you kidding me? You kidding me? 800 euros and no disk drive? Seriously? So that's no way. No way. Sorry, that's a no-go. So, I mean, no way. I'm not buying whatever for $150 this bloody drive just to play my games. No way. That's crap. Really? No. No. Then probably... No. No, I don't think so. Rather new motherboard, CPU and DDR5. Yeah, probably. I mean, he's not wrong because all the PlayStation games, or not all, but most of the PlayStation games coming sooner or later to PC anyway. That's the new way what PlayStation 5 or PlayStation in general is doing. Yeah, if no discount drive, digital only. Oh my god. No way. I don't like digital. Full stop. I have all my games or most of the games are on disc, and I'm not buying a external drive just to play the games. No way. No, then I'm not buying it. Sorry, but many people will do this. Not buying the console then. And no stand included. Okay, I don't give a crap about the stand. And then like Concord, yeah. This was, yeah, that's a different story, but for the payers, yeah, not for the players. Oh shit, this is disappointing, to be honest, you know. So first of all, we don't have a CPU improvement, which was already, you know, there was no sign of any CPU improvement, you know. No one said anything about, or there was rumors going on, but nothing official or nothing really, yeah, that you can count on it. But now just digital, and no way. No, sorry to say this. This is a big L, to be very honest. If this is just digital, no way. Yeah. Surprised it comes with a controller at this point. This is... No. Yeah, the PlayStation 4 Pro was really good. I like it. Nah. Yeah, of course, HDR will not change. It's always the same. Yeah. So the problem is the game needs to get a patch or something like that. You know what I mean? If there is a game like Gotham Knight with no 60 FPS support, then even the PlayStation 6 without a software patch for the game will not play this in 60 FPS. That's how it is. So you need to get the developer actually to adapt the game to the new hardware. So, and I don't know if it's that simple that you just do that, you know what I mean? Or it's not that simple, and then probably we pay $20, $25, $50 for an update. So that's not good. Yeah, that's the problem. He is exactly correct, and that's why I don't like fanboys at all. And people, you know, like, and I have to say, the stupid PlayStation fanboys, they really are happy that Xbox is not selling that great, because this is exactly what is happening. Because there's no other player in the field anymore. I mean, sorry to say that, but Xbox, the sales are, it's done. You know what I mean? If they're not changing something drastically, Xbox is done. I don't know. If they maybe announcing a new Xbox, but what's then? No one is buying Xbox because everybody is focusing on PlayStation. I mean, they have great games, don't get me wrong. But this is exactly, he is correctly right. That's what they can do. If they have no... that's not good. That's not good. Are you going to make a video for Space Marine 2? Yes, but there's no HDR support. So what I'm going to do is, there are a lot of SDR settings, and I will look into this and then make a recommendation for the best SDR picture. Yeah, the Pro console should have a drive. Makes no sense. No, I care because I'm not going to buy it. If there's no disk drive, I can't play my games, and I'm not going to buy the games or buying a bloody drive. Oh my god, really? You pay? So that's the point, you know. In Australia, it's for sure. I don't even know. I mean, it has to be. If it's already 800 euros in Europe, it will be most likely over $1,000 in Australia. Maybe I mean, this is something like what's the right word for this? A blocker, you know what I mean? If something is over $1,000, you already think, oh my god. If it's 999, then everything is fine. You get my point, okay? So, but it will be most likely over $1,000 in Australia, and then you have just digital, no drive, no stand, okay. No stand? What the fuck? There's a power cord included, or do you have to use the old one? I don't know. Really, I'm just making. Yeah, fucking hell. This is really absolutely. So we pay $1,200, $1,300, whatever, for a PlayStation 5, which can play a couple of games what we have seen right now. Not many games actually, and not really exciting games. I mean, don't get me wrong, The Last of Us, great game and stuff like that, but this game runs already in 60 FPS. So now we have a little bit better visual quality and have 60 FPS. So it's not where's Bloodborne in 60 FPS, huh? Red Dead Redemption, give me that, okay? This is, wow, okay, this is really actually, the more I think about this, the more disappointing is this, to be very honest. Fuck. No, can I say fuck? I don't know. I don't care. Nah, this will not happen. They're not giving you the DualSense for... Okay, this is really disappointing, to be very honest. I mean, I mean, look, the price, of course, was always a little bit higher. I was thinking about that the price will be higher, but that's crazy. That's really crazy. So at the moment, the PlayStation 5 here is actually $800, the disc version, okay? So the digital version is 680 Australian dollars, okay? 680 Australian dollars. So if we're now considering that, let's think, or let's hope it's 999, the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's, wow, that's a lot. So if you're a parent, you know, I'm a parent, I have 3 kids. I would never spend $1,000 for my kids for birthday, Christmas or something like that. I don't have the money. I don't have the kind of money. No way. Of course I would spend it for me, but that's a different story. No, but it's too expensive. It's $1,000. It's probably over $1,000. Nah. Yeah, you're right. The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima are PlayStation 4 games. So we got a 60 FPS update already on the PlayStation 5 with I think it runs at 1800 resolution pixel already, the same as the quality mode back then on the PlayStation 4. And The Last of Us 2 is also a PlayStation 4 game. So I don't. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, hey Matt. Yeah, that's a nice price. Exactly, 1,199. Wow, this is crazy. No disk drive? No. No way. No way. I'm disappointed. To be very honest, that's not how it's gonna work. But that's the problem, because Xbox is, sorry to say that, but Xbox is done. It looks like Xbox is done, you know? The sales are struggling. All the games, even the newer games, now suddenly coming to the PlayStation 5 as well. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good thing for everybody, but if you don't have exclusive titles like the PlayStation 5 has, you know, with Spider-Man, The Last of Us, whatever, you know, stuff like that, how can you sell something? How can you sell something, you know? And I still believe that the Xbox in from a hardware point of view and the software, the dashboard and stuff like that is better than the PlayStation. That's my opinion. It is like it is. You have Dolby Vision gaming, you have a much better VRR support on the Xbox, but somehow no one cares about that. Everybody's buying PlayStation. Oh, that's not good. So what do you think? So who is going to buy it, okay? Raise your hands. Who's going to buy it? Day one. Who is going? I really don't know, to be honest. If it comes without a disk drive, then for sure not. Which is a big no-go, because how can I make videos then if I have to pay again for the games? What I have already on disk. Okay, I can buy maybe the disk drive for $150. Oh my goodness. No, that's not nice, you know. And it should be affordable, to be very honest. So we're always talking about, I mean, it's still more affordable than PC gaming for sure. But we're coming in a region, you know what I mean, where it is probably much better to get a PC. You know, let's say you spend $1,200 for the PlayStation 5 Pro, okay? So maybe it is better to try to save money until you have $2,000 and get a PC which can do much more, okay? And probably even then play the games even better, you know what I mean? And you have modding and all this stuff, you know? It's, bloody hell, no. It's, no. Yeah, that's great. If you're all digital, I'm not, okay? So if you're already all digital, then no problem. But I'm not happy. No, I was actually, no, I looked into buying a Steam Deck a couple of months ago. And then I looked into the performance. I might be wrong, but in the games, what I looked in, you know, to play, that they're hardly running at 30 FPS on the Steam Deck. So that's why I decided, no, I don't want to. No. That's my opinion. Thank you very much, buddy. I knew Xbox was done the minute Microsoft went all in on Game Pass. Yeah, with no competition, Sony's just going to nickel and dime with the hardware. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I like to repeat this again, you know. Fanboys, they are happy, you know, that, let's say, maybe Xbox is struggling, or maybe also some Xbox fanboys are happy that Concord flopped. You know what I mean? This is bullshit. We shouldn't be happy about this, because we need companies in the field. We actually would need a third player, a proper, not because Nintendo Switch is not it's not an opponent for Sony and Microsoft. Not at all. They don't. The Switch is selling like crazy. No problem. You know, they don't care about whatever PlayStation is doing. It's not the same. Full stop. It's a complete different level. Okay, but we would need a third player probably, which has great hardware, maybe Sega or something like that, to get the price down, to get better games and stuff like that. Oh my God, this is really disappointing. To be very honest, I was expecting a lot, because that's why I set up this live stream and said, hey, let's do this. But and you know what? Because I don't know when the pre-order started. I had no idea. You know what I mean? I was prepared, you know, to just put the pre-order in if it starts. Oh no, but no. This is not good. Really not. No. So what do we think actually is Xbox doing? Because there's not a single rumor about a new hardware. Is it? The only thing what they have done is a different color, you know? Which yeah, don't get me wrong, the Xbox Series S in black looks really, really cool. But why would I buy that? For what reason? I have already here's my Xbox Series S on the wall. Hardly used, because it's the S. It's just there because it's looking nice. But why would you buy another Xbox or whatever just because of different color? So what is Xbox doing? That's it, you know? Is Xbox actually having a new console at all? Or do we have just PlayStation in the future. And then we're talking about $2,000 consoles because they can do that. Oh no, I'm not happy. Not happy at all. I don't know. And again, playing The Last of Us, you know, just in a little bit better visual quality. No. And Spider-Man, I'm not a big Spider-Man fan at all. Final Fantasy, yeah, okay. That's it, you know? Really? Yeah, there is really no sense what Xbox. I can't see a sense, to be very honest. But Sebastian, ja, es kommt ein Space Marine Video. What I will do is, because there's no HDR support in Space Marine 2, yeah, surprise. I will look into the SDR settings because I think we have 3 settings in regards of, I think, brightness, color, black level, something like that. I will look into that and provide a video for the best settings. Not sure. So the plan was actually to make a short video about Space Marine on the Xbox and PlayStation. You know, but then this live stream came up and whatever, and yeah, I decided maybe to postpone this. But I think the next video will be about picture settings in Space Marine because the game is actually really cool, you know. And yeah, I would recommend to get it on the Xbox until PlayStation 5 is not fixed. And I'm pretty sure they can fix the PlayStation 5 version. There is no reason for me actually that the Xbox version runs so much better than the PlayStation 5 version. I don't know why. But anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. It's 1,000 euro console, yeah. Wow, this is crazy. So the most expensive console, I think, back then, was it the PlayStation 2 or was it PlayStation 3? Was it 800? Or was it Deutsche Mark, German marks, or was it already Euro? I think it was over 800 euros. No, because this was 2000. When was PlayStation 2 released? I don't know. Really, I'm just upset. You know? There's no CPU improvement. That means game with a lot of CPU or CPU bounded. There will be no 60 FPS. It's not possible. How should this work? You know what I mean? If the CPU can't, yeah, Germany had Deutsche Mark, yeah. But if the CPU can't provide 60 FPS, then the GPU doesn't matter anymore. And ray tracing, I mean, yes, it looks great, to be very honest, but the performance loss is so big. It's 869 mark. My goodness, I remember. This was so expensive because it was so close on the 1,000 mark. And it was actually not selling very well back then. I got an OLED laptop that can play better than this for only 1,000 a few months ago. Okay. Oh my god, this is really not. So do we think that they actually maybe increase the storage capability or capacity on the PlayStation 5 Pro? Because it's not much on the PlayStation 5, to be honest. 600 something gig left. That's not much. If you install 5, 6, 7 games, that's it. 2 terabyte. 2 terabyte is good. Yeah, I really expect. So no, I expected a price around the PlayStation 5. You know, a little bit higher, of course, but not like that. Not like that. This is way too much, to be honest. And the problem is because Xbox can't do anything at the moment. They're not even announcing anything because there is most likely nothing. So PlayStation can do whatever they want to do. Yeah, again, but the problem is Nintendo is playing in a complete different league. And not in terms of quality or whatever. They don't need the buyers from Sony. You know what I mean? It's a complete different story. That's how it is. So that's why, of course, if Nintendo, but the Switch 2 will be not on the same level as a PlayStation 5. You know, we can be happy if the Switch 2 is maybe on a PlayStation 4 level in terms of hardware power. That's how it is, because we're talking about a handheld, you know what I mean? So there's not much to expect. Now, really, I'm not happy, to be honest. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. But anyway, that's. I think everybody was expecting more. Or at least not the price. Bloody hell. 7th of November, that means it's actually not bad in terms of release. Before Christmas, obviously. I don't know. If there's no CPU up, they improved the GPU. Which, of course, in games where there is no CPU bound or CPU limitation, it will increase frames per second and stuff like that. Or they put more ray tracing effects in and stuff like that. You know? But nah. And I can promise you something already. So because now they're talking about ray tracing, we have now suddenly more and more ray tracing in the games, and we're ending up again with 30 FPS. That's how it is. Yeah, that's true. Nintendo are spending far less on development for less graphical intensive games, while selling far more. Yeah, because the games are good. That's the thing. It's not just about graphics. I mean, don't get me wrong. So Zelda, I played Zelda I played all Zelda games, okay? I didn't finish all games, okay? But I played them all, okay? And the problem is I can't play, or let's say it like this, I can't play many Switch games on the OLED TV. Not because of 30 FPS, not necessarily just because of that, but the visual quality is so bad, actually. You need to play this actually on the handheld, on a small screen, that you don't see all the pixel and shimmering and aliasing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's a problem what I have with the Switch. And if the Switch 2 can improve on that you have a cleaner optic, you know, not Unreal Engine 5 optic and stuff like that, then this is already an improvement. Nah, I'm not happy. Okay? Anyway, there's not much we can do. The only thing what we can do is we're just not buying it. Because again, no drive, just digital, that's a no-go. Absolutely no-go. And not because I don't think that at some point we're going the way to have no disk and no drive and stuff like that and all digital. I know this. This is inevitable. No, inevitable. Unausweichlich. Okay? That's how it is, okay? That's how it is, unfortunately. But I have all my games right now. Most of the games, 95% of my games are in disc version. So, and if I'm going to buy the PlayStation 5 Pro and I like to do a video about something and I can't use this and I have to buy maybe the $150 drive, oh my god, it's not good. Yeah, of course, disk drive will be sold separately. I mean, there is already a disk drive, $150, I think it is. Is it? I'm just checking. $159? Yes. Bloody hell. Oh, this is not good, really. What are they doing? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but there's no, you know, with GTA 6, we don't know anything about GTA 6 if it runs better on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So far, I don't know if we can just, there was nothing said about frame rate and stuff like that. So we're assuming at the moment it's 30 FPS, which is most likely the case. But we don't know. Maybe there will be a PlayStation 5 Pro 60 FPS mode. I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if Space Marine 2, it looks like there's a CPU bottleneck, yeah, on the PC and also on the console. So, no, so from my understanding, if the CPU can't provide frames per second or higher frames per second, then you can have the best GPU, that's it. That's why when you test a CPU, and many people actually don't understand this, but if you like to test a CPU in regards of performance, you always choose a very low resolution actually to make sure that you are not running into a GPU limitation to test the CPU. Okay, but again, if the CPU is struggling to provide, let's say, 60 FPS stable, then a 4090 will not give you 60 FPS. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, nearly 1K to get a 45. Yeah, in the best case, a 45%. Best case. No, this is not good. No, I'm actually really disappointed, and I really hope that Xbox is doing something and maybe announcing. I don't know. I have not much hope, to be very honest. I don't know what Xbox is doing right now. If they're just concentrating on Game Pass right now or something like that. I don't know. And the problem is still many people will buy the PlayStation 5 Pro. Many people. So no worries about that, okay? So we don't need to be worried about Sony, okay? Look at the PlayStation 5 Pro like a higher tier GPU. 4080 too expensive, no problem. Buy a 4070 PlayStation Pro. Yeah, okay, no problem, yeah. Give us options, yeah. Oh, this is not good. The Xbox leak has something about haptic controller, okay. But this doesn't help much, to be honest. In my opinion, that's just my 2 cents. I don't need a haptic controller, you know. I mean, I think the DualSense Edge controller from PlayStation 5 is a fantastic controller. But, naja. Hey Alpha Likaner, Gruß aus Deutschland. Also ich denke, dass die PlayStation 5 Pro kein guter Deal ist zum Preisverhältnis. Raytracing oder Path Tracing oder sogar das RTX Dynamic Illumination sind nicht gut ausgereift. Ja, I think the same. So again, I'm not the biggest fan of ray tracing in general, not because of it doesn't look good. No, it's quite the opposite. Of course, it looks fantastic, but it comes with a big cost in price of in terms of performance. Anyway, so it's 1 a.m. here, 1:15 actually in Australia, and I need to go to work tomorrow to actually afford a PlayStation 5 Pro. Just kidding. No, I don't think no. At the moment, I'm tending not to buy it, but the problem is because I like to push my channel, of course, and like to make content. Maybe I will buy it, you know, for God's sake. I don't know, but I'm not happy. To be very honest, I'm not happy. No, absolutely not. Yes, we need a healthy Xbox to be competitive with Sony. Such a shame they are not making good decisions lately. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I really don't know. Are they not listening to gamers, or are they you know? I mean, games are selling hardware, okay? That's how it works with Nintendo, you know? So, and of course, in my opinion, PlayStation has the better exclusive games. So let me ask you one thing, or let me make one thing very clear. In my opinion, Xbox has no exclusive game at all, not a single one, because all the games are coming to the PC anyway. Okay, so this is no exclusive. There's no point that if you like to have the best gaming experience and you like to play Xbox games, you're not going to buy Xbox. You're going to buy a PC. You know, of course it's more expensive, but so they need games, they need exclusive games and really good ones, you know. I don't know. Okay, anyway, I have to go to bed. It's too late, and I'm really disappointed a little bit. But anyway, I think this was a great stream. The PlayStation stream was not that great in my opinion. But let's see what's going on. So, okay, expect so again, I'm working on Space Marine 2 videos, yes, plural. And hopefully tomorrow, because they are not in HDR, so probably tomorrow, yes. That's a good thing. If a game does not support HDR, you don't need to worry about HDR, processing time on YouTube and stuff like that. But I will do the video about the picture settings or brightness settings first, and then very short comparison between PlayStation 5 and Xbox. We know already the result, you know, it's not very good for PlayStation, but again, I'm pretty sure they can fix this over the time or with a future patch. Anyway, I say thank you very much for watching me. Even this was not what I was expecting in regards of the announcement, especially the price, but nothing what we can do, okay? Thank you very much, and yeah, I see you guys next time.